Hello to Retro Firefly. How are you today?
Hi, I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So, how did Retro Firefly get your name? I guess.
It's sort of a lot of things, but the main thing is my first ever musical memory is watching the music video to Fireflies by Owl City. It was like my first experience of music. I love the video. I still love the song. And the song is kind of like there's like the music video is kind of retro and it's all like different old toys and stuff and that's kind of I wanted a homage to Owl City, so that's where the Firefly comes from. And then the retro is kind of from the video.
So, so how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
Since 2019, which must be like is that 6 years? Yeah. Um, so the first thing I ever put out on my YouTube channel was I think in maybe December 2019, which was an original song called The Cold. Um, and I've just been doing stuff ever since then, really, yeah.
So, what was it like going into the recording studio when you first went there?
I've never, I mean, I have been to recording studios, but I've never recorded any of my music properly at recording studios. I do everything at home with my brother. We both really enjoy music, and I sort of record everything. And then sometimes, if I need more instruments, he'll add stuff. And on my last single, he did all the production for me. He did like a proper producer role. So I just sent him the guitar and the vocals, and then he literally did everything else. He added in like extra guitar, bass guitar, piano, drums, strings. Like he made the harmony sound really big, and yeah, so that's kind of we work like that, like kind of DIY at home.
It's cheaper for you, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my God. Once you've paid for the equipment, like buying one microphone and mic stand, the interface, and then downloading whatever software you're going to do it on your laptop. Like once you've paid for that, you never have to buy it again and makes it a lot cheaper if you want to do a lot of recording.
So, what was it like to record your debut album called Better Days?
That was really interesting because it was a college project, and it was the first thing I'd ever recorded, so I really didn't know what I was doing. I tried to mix that one all myself, and I got my brother to help me in a little bit. He added some instruments, but that was mostly just me learning. So the album is like quite low quality. It's not the best mixed or anything production that I've done, but it's sort of a great piece to show like where I was at the time and what I learned over the course of it. Because I think there's some songs on that album that are better than others because I'd learned during the process like how to make them. So that's quite interesting, yeah.
So, is there any songs on the album that you want to mention that stands out
Um,
for you?
I really like the title track "Better Days" because I wrote that album and like did it during lockdown. It came out in 2020. Um, I think, yeah. And it was weird because at the college we'd originally been told we'd be able to use like the studios and the facilities and get lots of help, but it really ended up us all being at home having to do things DIY. So that song is kind of like I just it's just all how I felt at the time with like everything going on and not really knowing what was going to happen with the world. And yeah, we've seen better days. That was the feeling. And when I listen to that song I still feel like how I felt in that time.
So, I guess you did you study music at college?
Yeah, so I studied music at college and then I studied music again at university. And I've just finished in May was when I finished university. So I've got a degree in music now, which I'm so happy about. I went to a university in London called the London College of Contemporary Music. And they were really nice. I had such lovely teachers and I had like a real good fun time studying there.
So, as you live by the water, so can you tell me more about your underwater album that released?
Yeah, so that was another college project. That's kind of why there's two albums close together, is because that one was my second year at college. And that was the year that my brother got more involved. So he did mix all of that one and he really helped with the production. So I think the first song is Waiting for a Sign. and that was basically a song that I had no idea what to do with at all. But I knew I wanted it to sound synthy and like synth pop. So I sent like a demo to my brother, and he came up with all the swelling synths and stuff. So that was great, and I realized as well from the first album that I didn't actually enjoy mixing that much. So that's why I got my brother to do it on the second album.
Yes, there's a lot of work goes into it, I guess,
Yeah.
on the production side. So, where do you get your inspiration from?
Lots of different places really. I've always grown up listening to lots of different genres of music. My brother was really obsessed with like prog rock, so bands like Genesis. My mum really loves James Blunt, and I love James Blunt too. There's just so much. Like I just, it's hard to pinpoint one thing because there's so many like things that inspire me. But I suppose living by the sea, that's a good one. I've got so many water-based lyrics. Like living by the sea maybe is the biggest inspiration of all.
So, can you tell me about your single that's called "Where Did You Go, My Life"?
Yeah. That was like one that I did a few years ago when I started to play guitar more. So when I was younger and when I was at college, I only really played piano, and I wrote everything like that. And then I started to learn guitar, and Where Did You Go and My Life are the first two songs that I wrote on guitar. And I really wanted to like experiment with that new sound, that more like raw, like acousticy stuff. And so that's how them songs were born, and then I put them out, and yeah, then people got a real taste for what I was actually like because when I perform live, it's just me and a guitar or me and a piano. So all the production stuff is like just additional for when it's recorded, but I normally just perform solo.
So, what musical instrument do you like playing? The piano or the guitar?
I like them all for different reasons, I think. I really love how the guitar feels so natural in your hand because you almost always hold it the same way. So I can really zone out when I'm playing the guitar and not think about what I'm doing. But with piano, it's like all in front of you. And I think that when I'm playing something a bit more complicated or with like interesting chord progressions, it's really interesting to see the song unfold and really think about what I'm playing and what I could add in and where I need to go to like add a solo or whatever. It's like yeah, there's lots of scope. I think each instrument provides a different experience.
So, can you tell me about your latest single called "Fleeting"?
Yeah, Fleeting is I'm so excited about that. Because it's like the first song in like the new sound for me. I think because I started so young, I was a little bit I did a lot without direction and a lot without like really understanding what I wanted to do for a career and like what style of music I wanted to write. But Fleeting is like definitely the this is the sound that I want to go for. This is the sort of indie folksy folk pop sort of genre, and yeah, I'm just so happy with it. Again, it's one that my brother Lawrence worked with me on, and he did such a good job of like mixing it and producing it for me. And then it's the first one that we've had mastered properly as well. Normally we just did our mastering ourselves, but we thought we're going to do it properly and get a mastering engineer. So we got this guy called Ben Whiston of Whiston Audio to do it, and he did such an amazing job. Like the difference between the mix and the master was amazing. And I'm just so excited about it because it's like the first thing towards my new sound, and that feels kind of exciting.
So, are you working on any new music? Any at all?
Yes, yes. We're working on a new album, so it's going to be all the songs that I perform sort of in conjunction with like Fleeting. It's like if you look at my YouTube channel or my like social medias, I've got lots of songs on there as like live footage that I haven't necessarily recorded yet, and so it'll be recording all those songs properly and adding different instruments and different sounds to that. And yeah, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we'll see how we go. Hoping that that will be out in like spring next year.
Well, that's great. Look forward to hearing that. So,
Thank you.
tell me, what's it like being an independent artist for you?
I really love it. I really love it because I can kind of do things on my own terms, which I think is something that you wouldn't get with a label. Um, and maybe with even with management, with people telling you what to do. So it's so lovely to like I can decide my days, I can decide like exactly what I want in a sound and exactly how I want to experiment with music really. So I love the freedom, and it's also so lovely to be able to see all the stats because I'm in control of every single one of my like artist profiles on like Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music. So I can see like individual stats in all those places as well, which I find really fun. I just go on there and I'm like, wow, I've got a play from like Canada or like Australia, and it just seems so crazy that people so far away are still listening to my music. So yeah, I really love that like independence and like the ability to do whatever I want.
So, continue if you've got any upcoming gigs you want to promote.
Yeah, I'll tell you about the one in February, which is on, I have to remember again, February the 22nd. February the 22nd at the Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft. It's a hometown gig for me. And it's one that I'm really excited for because it's at the Seagull Theatre, which is doing an accessible series of concerts. So I think there's other concerts you'll be able to see at the Seagull Theatre should you want to. But the idea is that they leave the house lights on, the music isn't too loud, they leave the doors open so you can come and go if you need to like step out and get some air. And it just makes concerts more accessible if you're disabled or if you're neurodivergent or if you're like young or really old or anyone that might get overwhelmed by like a normal really loud concert where it all gets dark and it all gets a bit intense. It's just like a really nice environment to listen to some live music.
So, how far would you travel to go to a gig?
Oh, I mean, theoretically, I would literally travel anywhere for a gig because I love gigging. And yeah, the more people I can get to listen to my music, the better. But at the same time, I have to balance my like income and my expenses. And if the gig doesn't pay enough to allow me to travel there, then unfortunately, unless it's an amazing, amazing opportunity that I would like pay for anyway, I can't always do it. So there has been a few instances where I've really wanted to do a gig and thought that I could get there and back in a day, but then I've had to turn it down because I would have to get a hotel and then hotels cost money. But I've performed in quite a lot of places. I've performed in London, in Cambridge. I need to get out of East Anglia. I've done a lot of East Anglia and a lot of London, but I'd love to go more North, Midlands, South, everywhere. Like that'd be amazing.
Yeah, some great music venues, especially in the Midlands where I'm from. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'd be lovely to know your like recommendations of venues because it's always difficult to know where to approach as well.
finally, can you tell me this? Where can I find you on your social media?
So I'm Retro Firefly on all social media. I'm pretty sure a lot of them is retro under dash Firefly. But there's not many retro Fireflies in the world, so the likelihood is if you Google it, you'll find me. I have all my socials and everything linked on my website, which is www.retrofirefly.com. So if you look that up, you'll definitely find me, and you'll find me on all the platforms, which is great.
Thank you. Let me chat to you today.
Yeah, thank you. It's been lovely.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. I will. You too.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.